Welcome everybody to Four Fat Guys Quarterback, a podcast about the NFL on a Tuesday night. Even though you're only going to see this on Wednesday on the YouTube channel.
Sometimes Thursday.
Yeah, sometimes Thursday. The show that really changes its name week to week. We never know what the fuck's going to happen. But welcome to the show, guys. Before we get completely before we do our normal spiel about scores and whatnot, right now this show is being broadcast live for the Twitch audience, so we could have some questions along the way from our Twitch viewers over at twitch.tv/riseupgaming
With a Z.
with a Z.
Doing it live.
We're doing it live. Fuck it, we're doing it live. And and as always, guys, on the YouTube channel, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. Ring the bell for and turn on post notifications. Go in the description, find all our social medias and all that stuff, including the new Facebook page, which if that's not up to par, you get to blame me this time because I'm the one that runs it.
Yeah.
But still feel free to go blame Rev because tradition.
Yeah.
And then also you can find us on ramsandsaints.com. It's not an actual porn website, but someone still got fucked.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Bam!
Jesus. This week's episode is sponsored by what the fuck was that?
Oh, and I almost forgot our wonderful partners at CGN.US, the Drastic Measure, and the Breaking Company. We always thank them so much for supporting our shows.
Yeah. I don't know why though. Hi everyone. You know who I am, and you know what we're here for. So let's just get right into the. No, fuck that. No.
Were you about to say, let's get right into. Oh, my. God
was I going to actually say it? No, but I got everybody thinking I was, so fuck you.
God damn it. We are not trying to be the gnome, all right?
I want to beat the gnome, not be the gnome.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're moving on. Hey, Iron Ranger and Wooly, how does it feel to be wrong?
Oh, I'm wrong every single day.
Well, I remember when we did the let's pick who's going to win the divisions and who's going to be the best in the divisions. I remember somebody telling me the Seahawks just doesn't have a defense. They're not going to be as good as you think, Rev. Seattle beats the Rams 30-29, are now 4-1 in second place in their division, only because the 49ers have not played a real team yet.
Well, but they played the Super Bowl champion, Cleveland Browns.
And they got Super Bowled.
Yeah.
Right down the toilet.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds like something I said at the beginning of the season. That's not the first time I was wrong.
Yeah. You both kind of poked fun at me when I said that the Seahawks were going to come close to winning this division, if not winning this division.
Dude, they continue to surprise me. They really do. Chris Carson is real. He's a real person. He runs really hard. He looked good. Man, Russell Wilson, I never believed in him, but fuck, after doing this for so long, it's hard to deny he's not a damn skilled quarterback.
Well, I want to have a nice little long conversation. Not long. Let's just put it. Let's have a conversation about this because there's a current conversation about who the best quarterback in the league is, who's the most impactful quarterback in the league, and everybody's going to say Brady and Mahomes, but I think Russell Wilson may be it because their defense ain't that great. That was a correct statement. The defense ain't that great, but he's keeping them in games. Holy crap, he's keeping them in games.
Yeah.
Now, the question is that just a hot streak that he's got right now, or is that something that he can keep consistently?
So last year over 16 games, he had a 110.9 QBR, and he was 35 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking last season.
Right.
This season, he's at 126 with
Okay.
12 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. I no longer think it's just a hot streak. I think he is as good as people are not giving. He is definitely top 3 quarterback in the NFL, without a shadow of a doubt. What was that?
It's getting impossible to deny it, man. He's good. He is the engine that drives that team.
He averages he averages 3,200 a year, 3,300 a year. It looks like close, actually. His QBR rating for his entire career is 101.5. How good does this guy have to be for us to start recognizing how good he actually is?
Yeah.
And we're talking about a quarterback that's been sacked 312 times in 7 years. And for the people watching on Twitch, that's a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
That's a whole fucking lot.
When you're talking about an almost 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio for his entire career,
208 to 63.
I mean,
Yeah, that's.
he's making a believer out of me, and I was a Russell Wilson hater. He's good. He's fucking good, man.
Yeah, I mean, and we just look at this week: 17 completions on 23 attempts, 268 yardage, 4 touchdowns, no interception. Got sacked once, 151.8 QBR.
The reason I brought this up, because do you know that there's a conversation, is he going to go down as the best black quarterback of all time? And I don't think that's the conversation anymore, because I think it's clear that he is. I honestly believe that he's the best black quarterback of all time. But I want to move past that conversation. Is he top 5 all time or getting there? He has a Super Bowl win.
I say he's getting there. He's definitely getting there.
If he continues at this pace for another 10 years, yeah, you can.
And you got a quarterback averaging over 130 yards a season, per game. So it's like he's incredible with what numbers he's putting up, especially with how many sacks he takes. It's amazing he's still standing.
Yeah.
He's easily going to pass 50,000 yards.
Yeah, he's already at 27,000.
Dude, he'll probably get to 400 touchdowns. I mean, if he keeps throwing the ball the way he is this year, I mean, he might be 400, 110.
He may be.
That's fucking insane.
And it can anybody seriously? Can you name a real receiver he's had? A real receiver.
Top of my head, no.
No.
Not really. I mean,
Because the
Tyler
only
Lockett might be the most skilled he's ever had.
what's the guy? What's the guy that came out last week saying he got high every game? That's the most skilled. The one that played for Minnesota first.
Percy Harvin.
Percy Harvin is definitely the most skilled he ever had. Definitely. And I wouldn't put him in the top.
Athletic, yeah.
I wouldn't put him in the top 150 of all times in receivers in any list. Like Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf is going to be amazing for this man. But I think it's time to stop moving. I think it's time to start moving past, is he the greatest black quarterback of all time, to he's getting in the question in 7 years to being definitely top 10 of all time.
He maintains what he's doing. Yeah.
Yeah. If he continues on the arc he's doing, oh man, he's going to be fun to watch. That's all I'm saying. And I'm with Aaron. I'm with Aaron on this. I've never been a Russell Wilson fan.
If he can get a line that can actually keep him standing, just imagine his numbers.
Yeah.
How much credit can we give Pete Carroll, though? That's my only question. Because just like Brady, it's hard to separate him and Belichick.
No, it's really not.
Pete Carroll.
But here's the thing: unless they go to another team and fail, there is no what is. Every coach and every quarterback are intermingled, except for, in my opinion, the best quarterback in this era, which is Drew Brees, because Drew Brees was good in San Diego. It's not like he was a slouch when he was in San Diego. Like, Yeah, he came here. But the thing is, every coach and every quarterback, when they play together and they're together for a long time, no matter what, some idiot's gonna be like, what? And I'm not calling you an idiot, Aaron, at all. But what I'm saying is, some idiot's gonna say, but what about this and what about that? Let's put down the stats. All it matters is Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback to ever play this game. Period. He's gonna own most of the records when he's done. Look at the Super Bowl wins. Like, there is no joke. And people will be like, well, his defense won some. Yeah, you're right. And that matters why. You compare him most of the time to Joe Montana. Did the 49ers have bad defenses? Am I not remembering my childhood? The answer to that riddle is no, they did not have bad defenses. Did Troy Aikman have bad defenses? The answer to that riddle is fuck no, they didn't. They had the greatest cornerback of all time on their team during part of that run. So at the end of the day, you have to go by the stats. Mm-hmm. You have to. Who gives a damn about who's coaches who and blah blah? Because that means Donovan McNabb, who is a top 25 quarterback of all time, can't be in a category because of Andy Reid. See how unfair that sounds? Or Michael Vick, like he's a top 50 quarterback. I don't know.
Who were Mike Vick's coaches though?
That's my point.
That's
so if we're going to use the excuse, well, is Brady, is Wilson, is Breeze just part of the packages and the stuff the coach set up, then that makes Mike Vick and Dan Marino. No, Dan Marino had one coach his entire career. Never mind. No, he had two. I think at the end when Shula left, Marino was still playing. But if that's the case, that means quarterbacks like Vic goes skyrocketing up the list instead of being 50, 60, 75. You know what I'm saying? Because they played, you can't even name the coaches. And if that's the question, then the answer is no, it doesn't matter who the coach is because, the last time I checked, Brissett and Garoppolo was underneath Tom Brady's father. And they're doing good this year. Is Tom Brady's father the head coach for the Colts? Is Belichick the coach for the Indianapolis Colts? Yes or no?
Maybe. We never know. We never know with Belichick.
Is Belichick the head coach of the 49ers?
This is also possible.
But in reality, no. And they're good quarterbacks. So maybe it's not the system. Maybe it's the heart inside the quarterback.
I can't argue with that point.
Yeah. The three of the top 10 quarterbacks of this season right now, are from Belichick, but they're not under. Two of them's not under Belichick. Imagine that. Maybe he sees talent, and maybe he can get more talent out of people, but that doesn't mean the talent and the skill set and the heart's not already there. Because I told everybody but Aegon, literally everybody I know but Aegon, made fun of me when I said losing Andrew Luck is not going to be a bad thing for the Colts. Everybody's like, oh, you're fucking crazy. Oops. That's all I had to say.
Crazy, but I didn't think they were going to be this good.
I watch a lot of college football. So I know the skill set's coming from these players. That's why Baker Mayfield, every piece of karma, I hope that he learned something this weekend because Bosa and Sherman gave him his karma check. And if this doesn't wake him up, he's already a wash in the NFL, which is a waste of talent because holy crap, that Browns offense has no excuse to be as bad as they are. Well, but you have Mayfield as quarterback, so.
Well, we'll get to them later on, though.
Oh, yeah. So. Next game, guys, Arizona 26. Thank fucking God. I cheered this like it was a Super Bowl, boys. Cincinnati 23. Cincinnati is not the worst team in football, but they make cases for it.
Yeah. Could we have called this game a tank bowl? Because, good God, these guys' records, like...
Well, here's the thing about the word tank. Tank means you're doing it on purpose to get a better draft pick. You don't have a quarterback top 5 in the league right now, top 4 in the league right now in the yards passing. If you're trying to tank, Andy Dalton is not the issue, and I wish people would get the fuck off of him. He's not the issue. 27-38, 71% completion percentage, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 sack, 107 QBR. Tell me what else can this motherfucker do?
Not much, especially when your offensive line is ravaged as well.
And he still only got sacked once.
Yeah.
And he still threw no interception. So, like, I think people are so tied up with getting clicks and likes and, oh, look at me, I got 1,000 likes on this post calling Andy Dalton the worst quarterback. Are you fucking crazy? He's better than fucking Kyler Murray, and I think everybody here knows how much I love that little motherfucker.
Speaking of that little fucker, 20 and 32, 253 yards, no touchdowns or interceptions, and 1 sack. But
he did run in a touchdown.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
He is athletic like nobody's business.
Yeah.
God, does that kid have wheels?
I have a problem with him, and I'm going to say something controversial because no matter what, people are not going to like Michael Vick. He needs to spend every waking moment that's not in practice with Michael Vick because his feet are so fucking fast. He needs to learn to control them in the NFL. His feet get him in more trouble. Not his legs, not his movement, not his feet get him in trouble because he double steps a lot, guys, a fucking lot. And his feet are faster than Michael Vick's, and that's saying a lot because Michael Vick, everybody's talked about his strides and his elusiveness. Kyler Murray has got the same damn thing, except for he has no control over his feet right now in the NFL. You can tell he's playing very timid.
Yeah, he is really antsy, and I don't know if that's just him and something that he's carried on through college, or if it's his own line.
No, it's his head. This is his O line is not that bad. It's not good, but I can name a team in Tampa that's got a worse offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
I can name a few teams that's got a worse offensive line, and I mean, he's only got 1 sack. How many times has he been sacked this year? I don't think it's 10 yet. Oh, he's at 21 now. He's going to be the most sacked this year, but
we've seen him collapse. I mean, look what he did.
Yeah,
first quarter against the Ravens, they shattered him. It took him a whole quarter to come back.
Yeah,
I think his size is going to be the only thing that holds him back. I mean, when you see him double step, I don't think it's as much about him not trusting his feet. I think it's about him trying to avoid the hits. When you're the smallest guy of all 22 on the field, it's tough to want to get in on 2 or 3 guys going down on the turf.
Okay, then that goes back to Russell Wilson too, though.
Russell Wilson is not nearly as explosive.
But he's not as scared either, is my point. There's something mentally going on because I watched the kid in college. There's something mentally going on with Kyler that is stopping him from being what I know and what other people, the reason why he got drafted number 1, there's something stopping him, and it's all mental. It's all mental because Russell Wilson's getting hit just as much. They're not much different in size. The experience of knowing he's not going to get killed. I think that's what it is. Russell Wilson has the experience knowing he's not going to get murdered on the football field. Kyler, still not so sure. Player of the game, though, guys. What's his name? Player of the game. Hold on. I got to find his name. Zane Gonzalez. Thanks for keeping this game close.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kicker for Arizona.
There's a couple of these games we're going to discuss that I am going to be brutal towards the kicker because holy shit. The next game.
Yeah, I was about to say, are we about to have a kicker
boys? Buffalo 14, Tennessee 7. There's not much to say about this game. Josh Allen came back, played very well, but he was under pressure all game. Tennessee looks like a real football team that can't get over themselves. And, Cario Santos, if you still have a job, I don't know how.
0-4 in field goal attempts.
0-4.
He's
That
probably
means-
lucky he made the extra point that he made.
That means your team would have won by 5 points, bro. It's literally your fucking fault. I'm not ready to crown Buffalo making it.
Not on the plane.
What's that?
I think they cut him before they even got on the plane.
I don't know. Has he been cut?
I think so. Let me check
I don't-
quick. I think he was one of the guys that got cut on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
No, oh yeah, he got cut.
Yep.
Not cut.
Titans released kicker Cario Santos Sunday afternoon.
oh,
Jesus.
Jeez.
here's your
Oh,
paycheck.
yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Here's your paycheck. Thanks for a loss we don't deserve.
Cairo, don't even fucking get in the locker room. Here's your goddamn shit.
They gave him the Gerard Gallant treatment. Good God.
That
He
36-yard
fucking-
kick that he missed like by more than a mile.
The one to the right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
God, how do you do that?
I think he was trying to kill somebody in the stands, guys. There she is. There he is. There it is. I'm not ready to crown Buffalo a good team yet. We'll find out. They stood up with New England, but still lost.
Yeah.
Hey,
But, I mean, they're played really well. Buffalo is. So
let's talk about hyperbole. The 3-2 Chicago Bears lose to the 3-2 Oakland Raiders 24-21, and now the Bears are bad and the Oakland Raiders are good. No, 500, Alex.
What the Chicago fans said for 1,000, Alex. Like, jeez. Like,
You know, I
Chicago's
might
so
not
bad.
have a disco, but let's dance with the Raiders, man. After they beat Indy last week, going to London and having the better defense on the field on Sunday, how can you not like what the Raiders are doing? I mean, Derek Carr looks pedestrian, but he's managing the game. John Gruden's defense is playing legitimate. Why not? Why are they not an AFC dark horse at this point? What am I not seeing from them?
Because nobody on their team had more than 6 tackles. You can't say the defense is as good as the other teams if you don't have more than 6 tackles on any one player on your entire defense.
Why not? They're playing like a team, man.
Derek
It's
Carr is a
not
better
one guy. It's an 11-man unit.
Derek Carr is a better
Always.
quarterback.
They might have been
Derek-
playing against Chase Daniels, but
Derek
That's still-
Carr is a better quarterback than any Bear in the last 10 years, first off. Second off, their running backs actually don't suck. Third off, and more importantly than any of it, the receivers for Oakland actually try to get open.
while we're here, Josh Jacobs is fucking legitimate. God
Yes.
damn, is that guy talented.
Yes.
Ooh, he's going to be fun to watch in this league for the next 5 years. Man, you run all over that Chicago Bears defense like that. Fuck.
Yeah, it
man.
made no damn sense.
The Bears should have been a much brutal that
Like,
game,
going-
especially with the
going-
Khalil Mack trade.
We'll see next week what both these teams look like again, because the London trip's not easy.
Yeah.
But I think this week spoke volumes to these two teams and where they're heading. And if you're a Chicago Bears fan, you cannot like that direction.
Neither of these two teams are on the Thursday game this week, are they?
No.
No,
Okay.
they're on buys, both of them. So yeah, week
Okay.
7 we'll find out more.
All right, let's talk about the game I don't want to talk about.
Uh-oh.
Game
New
we never
Orleans
want to talk
30
about.
New Orleans 31, Tampa Bay 24. I called it last week. I'll call it from now on. Every time Jameis Winston has a good game, the next week he is fucking garbage. And boy, oh boy, did he not let me down. But
Hey, he didn't throw any fucking picks, so that's
Well,
a plus.
he's actually started the season better than any time in his career. Completion percentage wise, yards wise, and QBR. And I'm good with that. The problem is he still cannot control the fucking game. And that's what the quarterback needs to do. Because our defense has holes in it. And if the quarterback can control the game, those holes don't show up. I quote Bruce Arians, "We are a run team, and we will get the running game going early so we can go all the rest of the game." 3.9 average, 4 average.
Yeah. If they could, if they
17
would just
total rushes.
if they would have just protect Winston a little bit more, 6 sacks, like for real.
Well, remember, one of the offensive lines broke his fucking arm and was playing the rest of the game with a broken fucking arm.
Yeah.
Our offensive line is probably the worst in the league.
Not to mention you play New Orleans has got a decent front line.
We're dead in London this week, but I'll get to that later. We are absolutely smashed in London this week. My problem with Tampa Bay is, yes, the refs kind of screwed us on 2 plays. Both of them would have been turnovers. One of them would have been in the red zone when Winston and Godwin was having a really hot hand. But that doesn't matter if you cannot score when you have it naturally.
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot move it when you have it naturally. Or more importantly, when they had the ball and you can't stop them. Because Kamara wasn't impressive in any fucking way. We let Michael Thomas stay the fuck open all goddamn game.
Yeah. 11 receptions for 182 yards. Just handled the ball all game, pretty much.
16.5 average.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's
like you can
dude. The one thing though is that New Orleans absolutely fucking handled Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is not the best receiver on our team right now this year.
Right now, but it's because fucking he's getting doubled and tripled, and you're just leaving Godson open.
Godwin's elite. No matter what.
I hope they start using him more in space, getting him on some fucking wheel rounds and shit. Getting him some pitches, dude. Just get him some open territory and let him run.
Evans not being an effective member of our offense is the reason why Tampa Bay is not winning games.
He had nothing. He didn't even play pretty much.
Oh no, he played.
I know he played, but it's like he didn't play because, he got nothing.
Yeah, dude, fucking no receptions on 3 targets. Rough. When you get out-dueled by Teddy B, oof. I mean,
Teddy B's better than Winston anyway, so.
Teddy Two Gloves, he's got skill. I love the boy, and I hope he succeeds everywhere. But man, he's nowhere near as athletic as Jameis Winston. There's no reason this should have happened.
Let's talk about the game that surprised the shit out of me, and the living embodiment, boys, of winning causes all strife to go away. Last week, my favorite receiver in the league, Adam Thielen, and Stephon Diggs cried and bitched and moaned and complained about how they wasn't getting looks and this, that, and the other thing. They won 28-10. Stephon Diggs still only had 3 receptions and no bitching this week. And what's the difference? 28-10 against the Giants. That's the fucking difference.
Yep.
They won.
What I'll say, though, is that he got asked after the game if he was happy to be in Minnesota. And he's like, sure I am. Gives the little mouth click and the finger point. Like, I don't think he should be being here. I don't get it. This isn't a fucking bad team on paper.
I know why he doesn't want to be here.
You legitimately have the second best running back in the league.
Third, you drug addict.
Third. Second best.
You can't change the rules that you set for me at the beginning of the year. We'll get there.
I already told you that's fake news.
Well,
fake news.
Two things. So for future references, any human being on this entire earth that uses a fake news statement to me, I automatically drop their IQ 40 fucking points because it's stupid. All news is fake, every fucking bit. And that's not towards you, that's towards every human being on this entire goddamn green earth. If you use the term fake news to make something up to fit a narrative, you are a problem, not an issue. And there's a difference between a problem and an issue. And if I have to explain that, well, we need to do a podcast about political banter so you can explain it a little bit more in depth. But the fact of the matter is, there's people like you.
Save that for the Thursday podcast.
There's more people. There's people like you and other people in Minnesota and on ESPN that gasses Stephon Diggs up to say he's as good as Adam Thielen. He is fucking not. Period. End of story. He cannot run routes. He is not as fast. His hands damn sure ain't anywhere close to Thielen's. And guess what Thielen has that Stephon Diggs has never showed me one fucking time? A heart. A heart.
I can't do it. Stephon Diggs leaves everything on the field when he plays, but if you're not thinking Adam Thielen is top 5 in the league right now, you need to fucking watch some highlights.
And that's coming from somebody that literally told me and Wooly when we were doing the preseason picks that Stephon Diggs was better than Adam Thielen. And I corrected him then, and I'll correct him now. Adam Thielen is top fucking 4 in this league, if not 3 in this league. And he plays with one of the shittiest quarterbacks in the history of the NFL.
Dude, if Diggs could get his fucking head right and start playing like a teammate instead of a fucking player, dude, there's no reason Minnesota couldn't have 2 of the top 5 in the league.
Do you know why Minnesota won this game, though?
Dude, because Dalvin had 200 from scrimmage.
Oh, that's not impressive to me when CMC.
This is my hill. This is my fucking hill.
It's a horrible fucking hill.
Your Homer Hill.
The reason why they did not win this game, the reason why they won this game, and it's simply handed, Daniel Jones showed no composure all game.
Yeah. 21-38. 182 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 4 sacks, QBR 65.9. Like, Jesus.
And unlike everybody else around me, when I make a pick and I say they're going to be amazing and they're bad, I'll eat that shit. This was not the Daniel Jones that I was telling y'all about. This was a completely uncomposed rookie. And he's not that. He may be a rookie by the standards of the NFL, but he's not a rookie. And whatever happened in Minnesota, he has to get rid of because that was not good.
He'll get over it. I mean,
I hope so because he's a good quarterback.
You don't have to face a Mike Zimmer defense every week. And it looks like this defense is now clicking a little bit. And the rest of the league better take notice if that's the case.
Can we word that better?
Is the defensive coordinator.
Can we word that better? He doesn't have to face the Mike Zimmer defensive backs every week. Because that's the only fucking thing scary about the Minnesota Vikings defense is y'all's defensive backs. They're so fucking amazing. Every one of them.
Danielle Hunter, right? I mean, dude, the rest of the defensive line is kind of playing like shit right now. But Danielle Hunter is still a man among boys in this league.
3 of the sacks were by cornerbacks.
Oh, I know that, but you're doubling and tripling Danielle every goddamn time.
And it doesn't matter. Rondé Barber made it famous. Rondé Barber made it fucking famous. If you have to double and triple and quadruple tag team a fucking lineman, you're going to eat my helmet. And he made it famous, and now every fucking cornerback in the league does it. They are the scariest part of the team. By far. They're scarier than Dalvin Cook. They're scarier than both of those badass receivers y'all have. One underperforming and crying. The other one's Adam Thielen. Y'all's defensive backfield are by far the best in the NFL. By far.
Harry the Hitman still shows that he is probably the premier safety in the league.
Yeah, agreed.
You cannot deny that. He's lost a step. I'd say a half step. But still, the way he commands that defense and puts himself in prime positions to get in front of any ball, it's impressive. He is good. He's good.
All right, next game. in my opinion, the second worst team in the NFL, 6, and the most crybaby fan base in the entire NFL, Philadelphia
wait,
31.
The entire NFL, or you mean the entire sports world?
I'm just thinking that's a city thing. Because let me tell you something.
Oh, wait.
Carson Wentz had a game for the stats he had. I don't know if you know this in Philadelphia, so come close, let me tell you a secret. Because you've never honestly had a real defense, but you have, so I don't understand this. You know your quarterback, their job is to keep the game in reach and win it if they have to. You won 31-6, and I saw people on Twitter crying. Hey, Jordan Howard, you're starting your running back. Want to tell me to kill myself again? He's your best running back. I now have a grudge against all Philadelphia Eagles fans except for Dan Law.
Yeah. I mean,
Welcome to my world.
Philly can just stop crying. They already got one of the biggest crybabies on their team, so.
Hey.
Philadelphia, everything can go fucking fuck itself.
We
God.
do not talk about Deshaun Jackson in that way.
Dude,
by the way,
Deshaun
can I?
Jackson probably could, but that's a different story, right?
By the
What's
way,
that?
can I tell the Philadelphia Eagles defense, God damn you sons of bitches, you cost me fantasy this week. Because that's the only reason I lost my fantasy game this week, because Philadelphia's defense went off on the Jets.
And everybody wondered why I picked the Eagles defense in every league but ours. And that's because I wasn't paying attention and took fucking the Chargers over the Rams. Dumb fuck.
He saw LA, clicked. Fuck,
Yeah,
that's
I wasn't paying
LAC.
attention.
I lucked out getting Minnesota randomly, so.
You know what I
Baltimore-
can't wait for?
What's
I
that?
can't wait for next Sunday when Philly actually has to face a real fucking defense.
Who they play?
Minnesota. Dude, Carson Wentz, what the fuck is wrong with him? He's supposed to be one of the 5 best fucking quarterbacks in the league. Where is it? Where the fuck has it been?
I can explain. How about 25 passes dropped? I don't know if you know this, but there's this thing in the human brain. It's called confidence. And when you throw a perfect pass to somebody and it hits their hands and then hits the ground on a 25% basis, which is what's happening to him, it kind of causes your confidence to go, what the fuck do I do? Because the prettiest pass of the entire year has been by Carson Wentz. Period.
Dude, are you talking that touchdown throw he had to Ertz this week?
No, the one that he threw to Ertz, no, it may not have been Ertz. I'd have to go back and look, but he threaded it through 3 fucking defenders to where only his fucking receiver can catch the ball. It's literally the prettiest pass of the entire year so far. Carson Wentz is a very good quarterback. The problem is he's like almost every quarter. You know what the difference between Tom Brady is and almost every other quarterback in this entire NFL?
Tom Brady's receivers catch shit?
No, when Tom Brady's confidence gets shook, he gets it back relatively fast.
Yeah, but he's never gotten too low.
Every other quarterback, and we're about to talk about another one, which is going to make Aegon uncomfortable. We're about to talk about another one that as soon as their confidence is shook, it takes 2 or 3 quarters. And in Lamar Jackson's chance, it sometimes takes games because Lamar Jackson's been shook since the Chiefs game. He really fucking has. And this week, he wins 26-23. The team that I said would be in the first place in their division is in first place in their division. And it just blows my fucking mind that he's a good quarterback. What is going on? Like, you can't keep blaming confidence when 54.9 QBR. How do you win a game with a 54.9 QBR?
Yeah. That it was a messy game.
Yeah.
The picture on the screen here on Rise Up Gaming on Twitch television, that is the embodiment of this game. just when it rained, it started raining, it just poured because this game was ugly. It was sloppy. Lamar Jackson looked like a backup quarterback. Rudolph looked somewhat better than him. The only difference is Rudolph doesn't take off running for 5,000 yards each game like Lamar Jackson's. I don't know what's wrong with him. I know I do. It's confidence, but
And he had nothing, and he had no reason to be shook because
that's the
overall we are
part.
better than we are way better than Pittsburgh.
Well,
so
like Rev was just saying, dude, it takes him games.
Yeah.
There was nothing about the Steelers' defense that should have fucking scared him. The only thing scary about this entire game was the fucking Mason Rudolph hit. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yep.
Holy shit. Why is it always Steelers players that look like they fucking died on the field?
Because I think the hits they take, man. I mean, what was it, 2 years ago, Shizer?
Yeah.
Ravens and Steelers, whenever they play, it's always brutal hits back.
It's always brutal.
Always.
Watching that game live, I looked right at her. I was like, that dude's never walking again. And
are you so glad that you were
He
wrong?
might be on his feet, but he's barely fucking walking.
The fucking disgusting thing is, and this is, everybody's like, the NFL is trying to work on safety. Then why did Rudolph have to walk onto the field?
Yeah.
They brought a card out on the field that died.
Yep. They're talking about safety. I mean, all the helmet hits I saw last weekend was ridiculous.
Dude, Rudolph's got some fucking balls, man.
Oh, yeah.
I like that kid's moxie.
Well, here's the thing. I sent a tweet out, and I was hoping anybody other than Wooly would retweet it because it makes sense. They are absolutely kicking players out of the games. Tampa Bay player got kicked out. The guy that hit Rudolph got played. There's like 4 or 5 ejections this week alone for helmet to helmet, defender to offender. And I understand that, and I'm okay with that. It is well earned, and it's supposed to happen that way. But let me ask the other question: how many times do you think that I saw a quarterback, a tight end, or a running back duck their head into the defender while about to get tackled?
Far too many times.
Yeah.
Josh Allen last week.
Jaron, me and Wooly and me and Aegon watch Red Zone. So that means I'm not even watching every play of every game, and I still counted 46.
And the helmet to helmet contacts in those games.
And a lot there is so much more helmet to helmet contact coming from the offensive player than the defensive player. And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who you are. I am 6'6". I weigh just short of 300 pounds now. I am a big motherfucker. But I can tell you, the most vicious hit I've ever taken in my entire life is Kevin Falk in practice, where he knocked me on my ass because he planted his helmet in my fucking chest. And when I hit the ground, Rev went night-night. I was the defensive player. I was the safety. He was a running back, and he did that to me. There is running backs in this league, Saquon Barkley, Ezekiel Elliott. There are some big-name running backs in this league that will absolutely fucking kill you if they get a chance. And they don't care. They're playing a game. How come they get away with it and defenders don't? How come I watched Brissett duck his head twice this week? Lamar Jackson duck his head twice this week. I had to watch because I care about their safety. And if somebody running into you ducking their head is bad, how is it not the opposite now?
I don't know how to answer it. Because, like, I played in a small school in high school, so I had to play both sides of the ball. So I'll never understand just the one aspect. I'm one side of the ball player, and how do I attack it? But, man, it's just a completely different fucking mentality when you're being attacked and trying to fucking drive, and when you're attacking and trying to stop.
So you didn't play running back, that's clear.
No, I played wide receiver. And
okay, you notice I didn't say wide receiver on that, right? Because wide receivers are they're taught to protect their bodies.
Oh God, yeah.
Running backs, their job is to go into a group of people that weigh close to 2 tons and come out the other side. And how do you do that without attacking, without being vicious, without putting your head down? Like, I don't want to change football so much that you can't tackle, but let's consistency. You can't say you're all for safety. Then I watch fucking Alvin Kamara put his helmet into fucking Shaquille Barrett's chest, which didn't end well for Kamara, by the way, but it still happened, and it could have hurt him, not Barrett. Even though if Barrett lands wrong, if something happens, it could hurt Barrett. But just that's still contact. That's still impact on the human skull and the brain. And
I think if we started fucking coaching kids that outside of being the quarterback, because you're gonna fucking take headshots. I mean, there's no way to protect against that.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're a running back and you're not inside that fucking tackle box, if you've gotten past the first line, you have to stop leading with your head.
Yeah.
You have to go shoulder first.
You have these big fucking shoulder pads that can do just as much damage. Fortinet.
More damage because your core holds up a lot more than your neck does.
Yeah.
Dude, I think it's something we're gonna have to change at the fucking youth level.
No, I agree, or at least start working on it in college, because if you go back and watch Leonard Fournette in LSU and Leonard Fournette now, it's two different complete players. It is. Fournette in college used his shoulders and his arms to get away from everything, and he was so goddamn good at it. Now he's more attacking, and he doesn't look as flashy, even though I know it's still in him, and he showed it last week and part this week. So I don't know. It blows my fucking mind, dude. Like, that's the one thing that I have a problem with the NFL right now that I would like an answer on, because you cannot keep holding. Yes, we like seeing scoring, but we don't like seeing a running back running 20 miles an hour, ducking their head. Imagine if Chubb ducked his head while he was running that touchdown last week. He'd hurt somebody and himself. Yeah. Or I'm
watching some clips of this game of Lamar, and I've figured it out. Dude, he's not in control of this offense. Fuck. I watched him try to hand off in a fucking open space, and I watched him fucking turn around right into a defender. That's his problem. He still cannot process all the information going on the field. And as soon as he figures that out,
that's going to be good. Yeah. Next game, and Jaron called it, but I was right in the end also. Tom Brady throws for 33 points, and the Washington Redskins score 7. Did I do that right?
Were the Redskins.
The Redskins are the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah.
Period. I do not think the Dolphins are as bad as the Redskins, and we'll find out in a couple weeks, actually.
Oh yeah.
I hope people listen to me and bet their fucking house, because that was a great call.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that news that the Redskins fired their coach, I immediately messaged Trev, did Rager just call that one?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, did you see the news? Speaking of the firing, did you see the report that came out that they had him come into the office at 5 a.m. to tell him he was gone?
Yeah.
Too bad the Redskins still haven't gotten rid of their problem.
There are two problems. There's two problems in Washington that they can't get rid of, because one owns it and the other one, Fellatio is the owner. Because Bruce Allen and Daniel Snyder are the worst GM and owners in all of professional sports outside of the Knicks.
All right, you want to hear the most damning part of this entire fucking game, though? It was the interview with Adrian Peterson after the game. What he said was, we were watching the New England Patriots on film, and they were throwing a bunch of exotic shit all over the place on defense. When we faced them on the field, it was vanilla. What? You're running a fucking NFL offense, and you're seeing vanilla defense from one of the best goddamn defensive coordinators of all time? That's the most damning statement of any fucking of all time. Dude, you got fucking hustled so hard by Bill Belichick that he didn't do anything to stop you. And he fucking rolled you.
Or hear me out, because there's a strong possibility on this just because last name Gruden. Maybe Jay Gruden is as bad as we think he is, and maybe he chose to show those to protect from those instead of showing what the normal New England defense offense pulls. Because guess what they've been doing for the last 5 weeks? What they pulled in Washington. Their offense was no different from this week than it was week 1. None. Zero.
Dude, Jay Gruden doesn't deserve to beg my groceries. That's how fucking inept he is.
I feel that way about both Grudens. So we'll move on. New England wins big.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck John Gruden.
John Gruden has 2 solid wins behind him.
Fuck John Gruden.
Jay Gruden in fucking 5+ years never had those wins. Never.
Fuck John Gruden. Minshew magic ended, boys. Are y'all sad?
Yeah.
No, because I still think fucking Jacksonville has a future.
Well, I know they do. I called that, but like it's over for now because he had 2 opportunities to have Minshew magic and was bad in both of them. But can we talk about 374 yards passing?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I tell you last week, though? Let's fucking pump the brakes a little bit on Kyle Allen. And while Carolina won the game, it had nothing to do with Kyle Allen.
Yes, it did. He controlled the game.
No, Christian McCaffrey controlled that fucking game. That's it. You actually could put fucking Kevin Falk in at quarterback, and Carolina would have won this game.
No.
No, Run CMC is that fucking good.
Well, I know that, and I've been saying that from.
Yeah, you have. Yes, you
A1.
fucking have. God damn. He is fucking evolved. I mean, you saw him in his rookie year, and he was nowhere the player he is today. It's fucking terrifying.
The 2017 running back draft class may go down in history as the best ever. Ever.
That'll be on the back of Christian McCaffrey. I mean, the rest of them are fucking delicious. But dude, you could put Christian McCaffrey along with a bunch of pedestrian running backs, and you'd still say this is the best running back class of all time.
No, because I don't think that with Barry Sanders.
Dude, Barry Sanders could hold Christian McCaffrey's jockstrap at this point.
Oh, dude, you need to sit your drunk ass down. Holy
God
shit.
damn it. I thought we took the whiskey away from you.
Dude, I haven't even had this yet. Well, we'll get there.
No fucking way.
Not during this show.
Fucking way. I'm sorry, but look, you can talk it. You can take a lot of hot takes. There is not a running back that's ever played this fucking game that is Barry Sanders level. Never. And my favorite running back of all time is not Barry Sanders. So before anybody says any dumb shit, he's not even top 3 of 1, 2, 3, 4. He's 5th all time on my list of my favorite running backs. And without a shadow of a doubt, Barry Sanders did more with less than any human that ever played the game of football. Ever. Fucking ever. There is nobody close. I take that back. There is somebody close. He happens to be in the talk of best running backs of all time by almost everybody, and that's Jim Brown. Jim Brown, Gale Sayers are the only 2 close in any fucking faction of Barry Sanders. Christian McCaffrey is second to none right now, but he's not even he wouldn't even have made it in the NFL in the 80s and 90s. He would have been killed because Barry Sanders has something Christian McCaffrey never will have. And that's called, hey, see me over there? I'm over here now. And he's not faster than Sanders. The only thing he may have on him is receiving. And once again, that has nothing to do with being a running back anymore. That's being a receiver.
I don't know, man. Dude, I think Christian McCaffrey could out physical Barry. I really do.
You watched a lot more baseball when you were a kid than football. That's obvious.
Well, I watched a ton of football, and dude, I watched Denver football. Well, I know running backs.
You know running back. The one running back you ever had. You know running backs. What?
Dude, Terrell Davis and AP being a Minnesota boy. Whew. Plus, I grew up watching fucking Barry. Like
I don't think you did. If you just said the statement you said to us.
Dude, we are going to fucking look
I
back.
I love Terrell Davis.
Huh?
I love Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis is a top 10 running back of all time. Guess what? He can't hold fucking Barry Sanders' track. Are you crazy?
Oh, God, no. Dude, Christian McCaffrey's way fucking better than Terrell Davis was.
No fucking way, dude.
Oh, God, yeah.
Holy
Dude, give him
shit.
fucking 4 more seasons. Watch what this kid evolves into. Because he's not done growing, and he's showing no signs of slowing down on that path.
That's like saying, hey, you know who is as good as Barry Sanders because of rushing yards? Emmitt Smith. What? No. No. Guess what? Wooly weighs 300 and something pounds, and I guarantee he could have 1,000 yards rushing with the 1990s Dallas Cowboys offensive fucking lines.
You will never fucking hear me carry water for Emmitt Smith. Hell no.
You can even go to the person that Emmett broke his record, Walter Payton. I'm sorry, Walter Payton was a great running back, top 5-ish of all time. Still, nowhere as close to Barry Sanders. Because guess what? McCaffrey and Emmitt Smith and all of those running backs have in common that Barry had never had.
A line.
A fucking line. McCaffrey has a line. And not just that, most of his big plays are pitches or catches. He never runs it up the fucking gut like Barry did.
Because they don't have a line. That's why. Carolina's line is a mirage.
I would put $1 million down. $1 million that Barry Sanders at his age right fucking now, in the shape he's currently in, could hit 1,200 to 1,500 yards rushing behind the Carolina Panthers line right now.
I didn't even think this was the hill I would die on, but it might be.
This is actually worse because there's a couple players that you can't compare to. There is nobody in the NFL now and probably ever again going to compare to Lawrence Taylor. There is no player in the history of the game that compares to Deion Sanders, and there is no player in the history of the game that compares to Barry Sanders at their position. None. Period. There is no conversation to be had. They literally change rules because of those 3 players. They're not going to change a fucking thing about Christian McCaffrey when it comes to rules. None.
Because you can't. Because he's there's no rules that would stop what he's doing. We're going to look back at CMC in a few years.
No, I didn't say nothing about the future. Said right now.
No, what I'm saying though is we're gonna look back in a couple of years and be like, dude, this is the Russell Wilson running backs. Like, we didn't think he was that goddamn good.
Who didn't think? Who didn't think?
No, not
hey,
me.
No, watch. No, even better than that. Even better than that. Hey, in 2017, Wooly Agon, what did we do for draft night? Do either of you really remember?
I don't remember now.
Hey, Wooly, can you go pull up the live draft review? Oh, you can't because it got flagged because the NFL was in the background. We sat there that night, and I said that Christian McCaffrey was the second best running back in the league in this draft and would be the best after 2 or 3 years. Guess what's happening? I'm never wrong when it comes to shit like this. That's not me patting my back. Oh, you go. I have literal fucking proof of me never being wrong about it. Or shall we discuss the Rays probably going to eliminate the fucking Astros Monday?
Ooh, that's going to be fucking delicious.
And the Nats getting rid of the Dodgers. I'm just saying. Christian McCaffrey, when his career is over, then we can have a talk. But right now, he can't hold Barry Sanders' jock. Christian McCaffrey can't hold Emmitt Smith's jock right now.
Holy fuck.
And does anybody want to guess what NFL player I hate more than Emmitt Smith? Because there's only one. My name's Brett Favre. Brett Favre.
Favre.
Fabry? You hate Fabry?
I hate Favre. Hey guys, look. The Atlanta defense is as bad as I said they were, and they lost 53-32. They made Deshaun Watson look amazing.
Dude, see, when you said I said something wrong in our start of the season podcast, I thought you were talking about the Falcons because I told you they were going to fucking win the NFC South. Holy fucking shit. What a garbage ass team they've become.
Hey, Wooly, you're my stat man. Go tell me who the offensive coordinator is for Atlanta, so you can tell Iron Ranger and you can explain. You can then physically explain why they're so garbage. Go ahead and do that for me. Go tell me who the offensive coordinator is for the Atlanta Falcons.
Some dude. I don't know.
You're supposed to look it up, jackass.
Atlanta Falcons offensive coordinator. Dirk Cotter?
Dirk Cotter.
Yep.
So can we stop asking why the Atlanta Falcons are so bad now?
No, because it's still Matty Ice.
Do I have to remind you that Dirk Cotter had Jameis Winston, Mike Evans, Deshaun Jackson, and Cameron Brate and couldn't win games? He didn't just have one fucking player or two. He had 5 on that offense. And if we could go back in time and Bruce Arians was the head coach during the Cotter era, Buccaneers would have made the playoffs, if not the NFC Championship. Our offense was that fucking good. But he played us out of games, and he's doing it in Atlanta. The same shit I saw. You need proof? Hey, Wooly, how many times did I hear, when is Hopkins going to catch a ball? Past weekend.
From me?
Yeah.
A fuck ton?
They lost a game, Iron Ranger. The Atlanta Falcons successfully lost a game by almost 30. Oh, I'm sorry, by 31 to a team that threw 0 targets in the end zone to the best receiver in the NFL. 0 targets in the NFL. What? DeAndre Hopkins had how many looks in the end zone? What? When you see 5 touchdown throws by Deshaun Watson, you thinking, oh shit, D-Hop, bald. Not even 100 yards passing, no touchdowns. No 100 yards receiving, no touchdowns. Because, who had Will Fuller on their fantasy football team?
I wish I did.
Nobody.
I don't.
Nobody in our league. Nobody. In either league that we're in, the one with with Jaron or the one without. Nobody. Atlanta, when you said Atlanta was going to win the division, and I laughed because I said Atlanta was going to be bad, it was simply because I knew who their offensive coordinator was. And I know what he's capable of, and winning is not it. But you have the second, maybe third best receiver in the league. You have Matty Ice and you have Devontae Freeman, and you're losing. Something's wrong, and it smells like Cotter. You know the saying, walk like a Cotter, quack like a Cotter, must be a Cotter. Yeah, that saying. Yeah, that's how I live life. Fuck him and Gruden. Green Bay 34. Delicious game. Green Bay 34, Dallas 24. My favorite thing about this is the absolute fucking memes that came out of this, and my favorite one is a sketch drawing of Aaron Rodgers with wanted dead or alive for killing 53 Cowboys in Dallas.
Dude, the best I saw this week was people were fucking sending gifs of Jason Garrett clapping, and you were supposed to guess what year it came from.
Oh.
Dude, so good.
So Jay Gruden, be happy that you work for the worst organization in the NFL, because if not, this idiot should be fired next. Because this goes back to the same conversation we were just having, guys. How the fuck do you have the talent on that team that you have and lose 2 games already?
For almost 500 yards and still lose.
463 yards and still lose. I didn't even see that. Jesus.
All right, that first pick of the game from Dak was not his fault, though. I mean, that.
So the other two were.
So the other 2 were all his fault, though.
The other 2 were more impactful,
Yeah.
Jaron.
Dude, you put 7 on the board against Green Bay and you make them play from behind. We haven't seen that yet. I would love to, because we haven't seen the Packers try to respond.
I mean, does it really matter if they have to respond if they win games?
If you're winning, you don't have to worry about responding.
Then we'd be talking about a 31-34 potential game.
I mean, if we want to talk about responding, can we talk about how Dallas can't respond?
Green Bay went for a touchdown off that pick, so that's a 7-point swing right there.
Yeah, I just
31-27 game.
I agree with you, Wooly. Why are we putting it on Green Bay to respond when Dallas is supposed to be the Super Bowl favorites? How come all the Super Bowl favorite teams doesn't have to ever respond to shit that they're putting themselves in? He threw the pass, no matter what. And sometimes I don't agree that if a pass contacts like 7 people, the quarterback should count it as an interception, but he still threw the pass. If Lamar Jackson and his interceptions count, so does Dak Prescott's.
What bugs me is I'm looking at the score lines. 24 points, 2 3/4 quarters. So about less than 6 minutes left in the third quarter, you finally score your first points, and it's a field goal. Like,
God
what
damn,
the hell?
Billy, you're taking me to task here.
Like,
It's not taking it to task, man. It just stop dying on dumbass hills. That's all.
I love rules.
Got a lot of bloody hills, man.
You have a lot of bloody hills, and just so you know, the Cowboys ain't one, bro. They're a bad team. They're an overhyped team. They're the Cowboys of every year. Next game, Indianapolis 19, shocking game of the week. Indianapolis 19, Kansas City 13. Patrick Mahomes looked like fucking garbage, but he threw for 321 yards.
Dude, and he got stepped. One of his linemen stepped on his ankle early in the game, and he just never looked right after that. But I'm not gonna fucking take away credit from what this Indianapolis Colts team is doing.
You know what? You know what caused this game to go badly for the Chiefs? And let's be honest.
Vinatieri?
No. I would never fucking say that shit. We're talking about Adam Vinatieri. We thought was going to quit 3 weeks ago. What's wrong with you? I'm going to give me 1 second.
You're going with the Kansas City defense.
No, give me 1 second, because I'm going to look at something, because I think I'm right. I just want to verify I'm right before saying it.
Or are you saying Andy Reid and not having any timeouts in the fourth quarter for the last 12 minutes?
For the last 20 years. He's been doing it for 20 fucking years. Like,
I cannot tell you how many fucking times I've heard people talk about Andy Reid's clock fucking management, mismanagement. I bet you if I had a nickel for every time I had heard that topic, I'd be a fucking millionaire.
Right. I was right on my thoughts. Who has been the leading receiver in yardage for the Patriots every week, except for week 1? Or the week Antonio Brown was there, so whatever week that was. Edelman, who's been the number 1 receiver or number 2 receiver in targets for the Houston Texans?
Deshaun.
DeAndre Hopkins. How about the Falcons?
Julio. 5
weeks, and I honestly believe this. 5 weeks, they've had a different person, number one receiver, in all 5 weeks. The Chiefs.
What do you think the ownership was across all of fantasy football, all fucking season long? Byron Pringle.
Yeah,
Did anybody own him ever?
yeah, that's my point.
Dude.
The only person that stays in the top 3 every week is Kelsey, and that's because he's the best tight end in football. So of course he will. But go back. I just looked. I had to check. I wanted to make sure I was right. Number 1 the first week was Sammy Watkins and Nicole Hardman and this Pringle guy and Kelsey. It's somebody different every week, and it's never consistent. So yes, he may be putting up a lot of yards, and yes, it's to a lot of people. But when you spread yourself too thin, what happens? You get recognized of what's going on. He's not throwing 100 yards to Pringle because he wants to throw to Pringle. It's because teams are forcing them to. They have figured out him. Now, if the defense can play defense for 4 quarters instead of 3, we'd still be talking about an undefeated team. But that's not what happened. Brissett won a game. Brissett is a real deal. Look at their record. You can't you can't deny that. You don't have second place in AFC South and probably should be first on luck. See what I did there?
I mean, this is probably why Kansas City wants to employ sociopaths and wife beaters for wide receivers.
Just saying. Hey, guys! The Super Bowl champs lost 31-3 to a real team.
Wait, did we skip a game?
No.
Oh, we got
Denver, LA.
I didn't want to talk about Denver, LA because it hurts my heart.
Well, we're gonna get there. We're gonna fucking get there.
Denver 20, Chargers 13. I've been telling people for 3 weeks that Denver was not the worst team in the NFL, that they had to get going. They still have a shit quarterback, but they kind of proved it this week because the Chargers are a good team that is just getting really fucking unlucky until this week.
Denver's defense finally showed up. That was the story of the game. Because when you look, Melvin Gordon's averaging 2.5. Same with Eckler. All right, let's see. Yeah, 2.6 yards for Melvin Gordon and 2.3 for Austin Eckler. Dude, and that's on 15 rushes. I mean, Denver's defense showed up. The Broncos offense kind of did. I mean, Joe Sacco still looks like shit. He's a garbage quarterback. But, boy, my fucking breakout of the year, Cortland Sutton. Anybody remember me talking about him in our preseason pod?
Mm-hmm.
Because, man, on that 70-yard fucking touchdown, he flashed some speed and some strength.
I realized something, Aegon, Wally. Yeah. I realized something Jaron does. If you put yourself on enough hills to die on, occasionally you'll be right. Because I remember somebody 3 weeks ago talking about how Flacco wasn't trash.
Finally came off that hill.
Oh, finally came off that hill. Appreciate it, kid. The reason I didn't want to talk about this game. I think
that argument was as much that Flacco wasn't garbage as much as you win a Super Bowl and you run the fucking table like he did. You earn a contract.
No, your hill was he was not as bad as I was saying he was. And I'm saying, and you're now saying he is absolutely bad.
I thought that fucking cannon would play up so much better in that mile-high air, but it has not.
The reason I didn't want to talk about this game is because it came out today that Devontae Bosby was paralyzed for 30 minutes Sunday.
What?
After a head. Yes.
Yeah.
Bosby collided with Broncos teammate and linebacker Alexander Johnson during a 20-13 win against the Chargers shortly after he tackled running back Austin Eckler early in the second quarter. Play stopped. Teammates quickly called on medical staff to tend to Bosby. Medical trainers removed Bosby's face mask, secured him to a blackboard, and took him off the field. Bosby said he underwent further testing scans and x-rays. They said I was paralyzed for the first 30 minutes. Something with the spinal area, saying he didn't know the technical term for it, but he said it had to do with compression.
That sounds exactly like Shazir's injury.
But he's walking. This guy got lucky. because originally I told Wooly and Aegon that Alex Kappa of the Buccaneers was the 2019 Man of the Year when it come to being manly men, because he broke his fucking arm in a game against the Saints and played the rest of it with a broken fucking arm. This guy already wants to come back and play. He's going to try everything he can to pass test and get back into playing this year. And that to me is fucking insane. But it makes me sad because it goes back to people ducking their head, and your career and sometimes your life is over that quick. And I don't want to see that shit on football anymore. That was the 80s and 90s. That was Lawrence Taylor and Ronnie Lott trying to kill people, and it was kind of fun to watch. But at the same time, I remember even as a kid being horrified by watching Ronnie Lott break his own finger, put it back in place, and fucking play the rest of the fucking game.
Yeah.
And I was an insane kid. My nickname is Rev because I like throwing bricks at people.
Rev is extremely
And I
violent.
So now we can get to the Super Bowl champs now, right?
Yeah, I think we're getting
Yeah.
now.
All
Super Bowl
right.
champ time. Yeah.
Hey, Baker Mayfield. How's that 13.4 feel?
Oh God damn.
How does it feel knowing that Odell Beckham was a better quarterback than you?
Like Garrett Gilbert was a better quarterback than him.
Oh Jesus Christ.
I love the Browns, but I'm so done with Baker Mayfield that I'm okay with being wrong about the Browns this year being a good team all year, because I didn't pick them to win the division anyway, so it doesn't affect me, but I don't even want them to be competitive now. I am so fucking done with Baker Mayfield. And
Dude,
Bosa and fucking Sherman showed karma, and it felt good to see it.
if you're gonna fucking have a bad attitude, back it up.
If you're going to have a bad attitude, probably don't play quarterback because people are going to kill you.
Nah, fucking figure it out. Dude,
Name a bad.
Dude,
bad
I'm fine with people having bad attitudes. Don't fucking suck at what you do and have one.
Okay, but name a bad attitude quarterback that ever was good in this league.
That's tough because there's
Four people here that know football. Anybody. Name a bad attitude quarterback that was good in the NFL.
Trying to think of one.
Vic
'Cause-
wasn't pleasant.
Vic was an awesome guy.
Yeah.
He got in
He
trouble
wasn't-
off the field.
Whoa, okay,
He
okay.
did shitty things off the field.
I'm talking about,
Holy
and I hate to double down on that. People can hate me because I support dog abuser. That motherfucker paid more money for what he did with those dogs than any human being in the history of the fucking United States for the same fucking crimes. One, two, he's still.
Actually, I'll say this. I've got two. Fabry's attitude was not great ever. But also
Fabry never once said and acted like he was the best quarterback in the league. Because when he first came in the league,
all right, you want a good one? How about fucking Mr. Stanford coming out and saying he's not going to San Diego and ending up in Denver? John Elway had a fucking piss poor attitude. And
for 1 year.
Does. No, he still does. I mean, he was fucking a generous guy. His fucking attitude on the field was piss poor.
But the same thing. I'm not trying to compare apples to oranges. I'm comparing apples to apples. This is Mayfield's second year, and he has to be the underdog. John Elway never wanted to do that, so that gets rid of Elway. Okay.
All right.
Favre knew he was never going to be the best quarterback in the league as long as Dan Marino, John Elway, Joe Montana, Steve Young, and Troy Aikman played. So he acted his role. He played quarterback and let his on the field actions work. Mayfield will get a first down for 11 yards and act like he threw a fucking touchdown. Mayfield's also the idiot that ran into the middle of the OSU fucking thing and planted a fucking Oklahoma flag in the middle of it. Hence, Bosa being in his ass all fucking game Monday.
I love Baker to death, but man, Bosa planting the fucking flag.
Oh yeah,
that was amazing. That was fucking probably the best sack celebration I've ever seen.
I agree, and I'm a Buccaneer fan, so they had some great Simeon Rice had some great fucking celebrations. That was by far the best. Like Mayfield is overhyped, and by a long shot. And it's people like Skip Bayless and them idiots. Oh, wait till he has this. Well, he has receivers now. He has amazing receivers now. Wait till you have a running back. Oh, wait, Nick Chubb is fucking real. And no matter if people like it or not, Rev don't. Kareem Hunt is coming. He has everything he needs to succeed, but a winning attitude. He has to be the underdog. Name another bad quarterback, or name another quarterback that had to be the underdog, and was successful in this league. Because you can't name one. The only good quarterback that had a bad attitude, decent. No, I don't think most people would call him good. Wooly, he's a bear. McMahon. But was he good?
I wouldn't say he had a bad attitude, but he was definitely one of those.
You can't be a prima donna as a quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, he was definitely a prima donna, but
one you experienced even more recent, Jay Cutler.
And
I don't think good.
I don't think any Bears or Bronco fan anywhere would accuse Jay Cutler of being good.
No, my dad's the Bears fan, the family. He hated Cutler.
Jaron's a Broncos fan. You don't hear him calling him good.
Well, I got to experience his early career, and it was not great.
Yeah.
The only thing fun of the entire Cutler experience in Denver was him and fucking Phillip Rivers rivalry. That was fucking glorious.
The only thing that kills me about the Browns is I watch this team and I see Myles Garrett. Knowing that defense is missing Ward and Greedy Williams, I still don't think they could have stopped that fucking George Kittle attack. that fucking Matt Breida attack. Another 2017 draft pick. Like, it's unfucking real to me that the Browns, everybody hyped them up, and I was the only person in the year 2018, and Wooly and Aegon is my living proof, and there's a video somewhere to prove it also. I'm the only person that called the Browns being within the playoffs last year or this year. And I'm not going to be right just because Mayfield is fucking garbage. Do you see the trade talks that's happening, guys?
No.
We're going to talk about one more thing, and then we'll do our end and be done. There are people out there trying to get the Washington Redskins to trade Mike Tomlin.
Oh. What?
Dude.
If Mike Tomlin goes to the Washington Redskins and he does not fight a trade, or the Redskins are not fleeced for the next decade for doing it, I will be so disappointed, because Mike Tomlin is exactly what the NFL needs, because he's a player's coach. He wins, I would say, 80% of the time. This year is an off year, but that's what happens when, your touchy-feely quarterback is knocked out early. That's the best way I can word it on Twitch.
Yeah.
You people on the Boycott Everything channel, you know what I was about to say, but like, at the end of the day, Mike Tomlin is a high-class, good human being, and to see him work for Snyder would rip the heart out of me.
Yeah,
to see him work for Bruce Allen,
he'd be Schneidered if he
He would retire in an instant.
I would rather retire than work
I think that I think I would do the same thing. You traded for me. Goodbye.
Yeah.
My career's over. I'm sick all of a sudden. I'm going to call out having a kid. Oh, wait. My name's not Jalen Ramsey. Sorry.
Shots fired. I love it.
First, let's get the fun part out of the way. Wooly, you ready?
Yeah.
Worst team in the NFL, go Wooly.
Can I give my smart ass answer and say the Miami Dolphins?
Yes.
Because the bye week still beat them. Dolphins 3, bye week 48, or something like that.
I thought it was 73-6.
There's a graphic out there I saw on
graphic
Facebook.
out there. Yeah.
I have to go find it.
You started laughing. I was like, what? And they're like, are you good? And then I found it. So,
Yeah.
Aegon,
But,
worst team in the NFL.
But I'll say real quick,
God.
reality, Redskins.
Yeah.
The Washington Dolphins.
The Washington Dolphins. Jaron.
I'll tell you, Washington is the worst team on paper. Chicago is not doing themselves any favors.
Oh, God. Fucking damn. Okay. Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
You have
Honorable-
teams that have no fucking wins. And you said Chicago. What in the fuck?
Rev, what's yours?
Chicago could easily end up in the fucking bottom 5, and that's not where they're supposed to be.
So can Minnesota. Like, there's a lot of teams that's doing well right now that could end up in the worst. I have Washington. Best team in the NFL. Jaron, you get to go first this time. Please say the Cincinnati Bengals. Just make my night. Best team.
Bengals
Jaron.
are fine. They're a fine team, but it's New England. It's easily New England.
Wooly.
Do I have to say more?
No, that's enough.
I'm going to go different this time just because their defense did really well this weekend and they fucked me over in fantasy. Philly.
Jesus Christ.
Jeez.
Guys, we're going to start taking every time y'all do a hot take that makes literally no sense, you just PayPal $5. Oh, you Venmo $5 to Sean. Aegon.
I think it's still New England.
I'm going to go out on something. I will say something that it's not a hot take, but just hear me out. The New Orleans Saints are possibly the most complete team in the NFL. From top to bottom.
I like it. I actually do.
They are winning games without the second best quarterback of this era and statistically the best quarterback of this era. So I think that when Breeze comes back, the NFL may be in a little bit of trouble.
Would you put Green Bay up there too, though?
My top 5 would be New Orleans, New England, Green Bay, and probably still KC. I say probably because Minnesota does look really fucking good. But, and you know who would probably surprise you all, and I didn't get to say this when we talked about the game. You know who I would put in my top 10 that not many people would? The Carolina Panthers. And if you need proof, wake up at 9:30, come into Zoom with me Sunday, and watch the Panthers have 142 sacks against the Buccaneers Sunday. Because we had the number 1 rated sacking defense coming into London to beat up on a line that gave up 6 sacks to the Saints.
You want to hear a real crazy one?
What's that?
Oakland's playing in January.
With the division the way they have it, yes, of course they are. That's just rocket science. No, it's not. Trash division, trash team wins a trash division. That's how it happens. Do you have any surprises in your top 10?
To be a wild card team, and they're going to have to jump LA.
You think? I think so too. I do think so too. Wooly, Aegon, do you have any surprises in your top 10 other than Philly being number 1? Crackhead?
No.
I kind of said that jokingly. Being a smart
I kind
ass,
of figured that, but Jesus Christ, dude.
I mean, can I just count Houston's offense?
Man, Houston's defense didn't look fucking horrible this
That's why I
past
said
week.
just their offense.
No, they didn't look horrible this week though. They played that's a real offense. That's still a top 10 quarterback and it's still a top 5 receiver on that team. It's not like the Falcons offense is garbage. It's just they're ran by garbage.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me take another shot at Coder.
No problem. But yeah, of Houston, you can improve your offense a little bit more if you throw touchdown passes to Hopkins. God damn it.
Okay.
I need fantasy points.
Boy. Yeah. All right, y'all ready for the fun part?
Oh,
Well,
no.
We're gonna do this different. We're gonna start the Monday night game and go backwards this time.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
Wait, there is no Monday night game this week.
Wait a minute. Yeah, there is.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Sorry,
There
sorry,
is.
sorry. I looked at it wrong. We're going to start the Monday night game and go backwards because I'm really interested about the last game. I don't want it to go first.
Okay.
Monday night game, Detroit versus Green Bay. Wooly, go.
Green Bay.
Aegon,
Green Bay.
Jaron.
Detroit.
I knew the hill was coming. Detroit, by sure. Pittsburgh versus Los Angeles, a Sunday night game in Los Angeles. Chargers. Jaron.
Rams.
No, Chargers. Chargers, bro. Chargers.
You are drunk.
You proved it just now, sir.
No, Chargers. Excuse me.
Aegon,
Chargers.
Wooly.
San Diego.
For draw, just in case when you listen, I'm going Pittsburgh here. Dallas versus the Jets in New Jersey. Aegon,
I think it'll still be Dallas.
Jaron,
Dallas in a get right game.
Wooly.
Dallas by 34.
By 34. Dallas by 1. Tennessee at Denver.
Ooh.
Tennessee at Denver. Jaron,
Tennessee.
Aegon,
Tennessee.
Wooly.
Tennessee.
I'm going opposite on a lot of these games. Jesus Christ. I have Denver. I think that they started the right last week and continue it this week. Atlanta at Arizona. Aegon,
Arizona.
Wooly.
I'll go Arizona.
I'll take Atlanta. I will take Atlanta.
I'm taking Atlanta too. I think that Matty Ice is going to throw for like 9 million yards against that
Oh,
defense.
God, yeah. If there's the get right game this season, this is going to be
This is it for them. San Francisco at Los Angeles Rams. Wooly.
Fuck Kroenke, but Rams.
Aegon.
Aegon?
San Francisco.
Oh, there.
I was about to say, you got to speak up. We can't hear you. San Francisco. Jaron.
Whew. Yeah, San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Agreed. Wooly. Lone wolfing on that one. Cincinnati at Baltimore. Is anybody going to pick Cincinnati? Yes or no?
No.
The Bungles will bungle because that's what Bungles do.
That's factual.
No, I'll take the Bengals. I don't think Lamar's going to get right until next week.
All right.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen, in
love
the
that.
comments,
I love
count the
that.
number of hills that Jared is going to die on.
Oh,
And add
I'm
that
not
one to the
taking it
list.
I'm not taking it with confidence, but I could see the Bengals defense kind of showing up.
There's
When?
another hill.
When? Anyway, we're moving on.
This one game. You don't get shown up by your fucking goddamn conference rival.
New Orleans in Jacksonville against Minshew. This is going to be interesting because I know some of us are fanboys right now. Jaron, you're first.
Dude, Uncle Rico and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Aegon.
Much as I want a fanboy. I think it's gonna be the Saints.
Wooly.
I love the mustache Minshew, but I'm sorry, it's gotta be New Orleans.
Look, man. I have New Orleans losing one game until Breeze comes back. This ain't it. Minnesota at home versus Philadelphia. Saints, by the way, cleared the last one. Philadelphia Eagles 3-2. Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. Mr. Homer.
Dude, Carson Wentz is going to wish he was back in North Dakota by the end of the
Wooly.
I got Minnesota.
Aegon.
I'll say Minnesota.
Well, I'm not alone on this one. I have Philly winning by 20.
Dang, dude.
Washington at Miami.
Oh God.
Does it matter?
First off, I'm sorry, fans, we lose.
Yeah.
Second
No.
off,
What? Are you saying you don't like to watch ineptitude in action?
or the Dolphins
this has got
drowning?
Games of the Week written all over it.
I can watch the biggest NFL gag reel, in one night.
Oh my god! It's
Oh,
gonna
that was last week, Steelers and Ravens, bro. That game was ugly.
Oh my God.
That's gonna take some effort to beat. Washington in Miami, Mr. Wooly, go.
Oh, you're gonna make me go. God damn it.
Yeah, you go first.
I'm just gonna say because they didn't lose their head coach this past week. I'm gonna say Miami.
Aegon.
This might be Miami's one game to win the entire season.
Jaron.
Dude, it's gonna be a tie. I'm telling you what.
That's a hill I hope you don't die on.
We both want this quarterback so bad.
Please, God, football gods, please make that
Yeah.
happen.
Y'all can keep hyping up Minshew Magic, but Fitzmagic wins this game. Dolphins.
Wait,
Houston.
who's starting this one?
Fitzpatrick is a starter.
Oh God.
Houston.
Yeah, I still go with the tie.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Houston at Kansas City. In my opinion, the game of the week. And we'll start with Aegon.
Oh, it's gonna be an interesting game, but I think the Chiefs will win.
Jaron.
Texans.
Wooly.
I think the Chiefs. I think Houston is going to have a little bit of trouble with that defense.
I agree with Jaron. Texans. Seattle versus the Super Bowl champions in the Super Bowl champions toilet bowl. Anybody picking the Browns?
Nope.
Nah.
Jaron, you're the last one.
I'm picking the Seahawks, but I actually think this is going to be the fucking shootout of the goddamn season.
Well, no. Tampa Bay and Los Angeles already had that, sir.
No, I'm telling you, dude. I think fucking Baker is going to get right this week, but I do think Russell's going to outduel him.
But understand this.
It's going to be a 50+ each side.
But understand this. The Bucks and Rams game was the 13th highest scored game of all fucking time. So shootout, yes. Shootout of the year, no. Let's talk about. God damn it! I do this every year. Can I stop doing this? Carolina at Tampa Bay in London, and Wooly, go.
Carolina.
Aegon.
Carolina.
Jaron.
Bucks.
As much as I hate to say it, I'm going to be a homer here, and I'm going to go with the Bucks. I just think that Jameis Winston's going to get beat the fuck around. And now the reason why we wanted to go last. Thursday night football. The New York Football Giants and the New England Patriots. Is anybody picking the Giants?
Nope.
I've got a caveat. If Eli gets in this game, it's going to be a Giants win.
But
How much whiskey have you drank, sir?
So you had the Patriots winning. Got it.
Oh yeah, no doubt, dude. There's no way they're taking Daniel Jones out. But if he gets hurt and Eli comes in, this will be his white stallion.
Well,
he's gonna ride out on that sunset.
We found the hill. We found the hill that Rev will die on. The Giants win by 3.
Damn,
no caveat.
Out? No caveat.
No caveat.
Holy fuck! I thought
there's one team. There's one team in the NFL left undefeated after this week, and it's not New England.
Man, you really think the Niners are the fucking cream of the crop?
Nope, they're playing trash. There's a difference. You can play trash and still not be the best team in the NFL, no matter what your record says.
Damn, dude. Like, I might not even give Eli that kind of fucking love. Because, dude, there's no reason Bill Belichick went vanilla last week against the Redskins just to fucking suck it up against the Giants. This is the thing he wants to do more than anything, is just wreck New York forever.
Jabril Peppers is ready. Not talking shit. He's just ready. And Saquon Barkley may be starting. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of our podcast. Thank you guys for being here again. I appreciate it. It's fun.
Yeah,
Especially
make sure to leave a comment down in the comments to tell us how many hills Iron Ranger is going to die on this week.
Somebody count the hills, because there's a lot.
17, at least. So many hills.
So many hills.
So many
Like
hills.
we have to build hills for you to die on that. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's getting out of hand.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like
I'll defend them all. I don't care.
You are trying to defend the indefensible.
Dude, I love it.
You literally
Somebody
told
else
me. You literally told me that CMC is better than Barry Sanders. You, sir, I love you dearly, better is all full of fucking crack cocaine, and you need to knock it off.
Yeah, seriously. I know you said you're from Denver, but come on, man.
Just wait until CMC actually decides that all of England is his. I picked the Bucks, but dude,
I was about to say, but you picked the Bucks.
Dude, this is Christian McCaffrey's coming out game. Dude,
What?
I don't think Kyle.
Look, can you just cut off the audio mid-sentence here there, man? Because he just said somebody that had like 500 yards from line of scrimmage last fucking game is his coming out. Man, if you don't stop that dumb shit, I'm gonna beat your fucking wrong with you.
I'm here for one reason. I'm here
to be a drug addict.
No, sir. I do crack.